It's such a delight. I'm here. I'm having so much fun already, and having a lovely catch up with my friend Alistair. And it's been a year, perhaps, or longer since we've caught up. And yeah, so I felt a bit inspired to bring the camera and maybe include others in our catch up and where we're up to and what's happening in our lives, and be able to share that, because I have this sense that I'm learning with social media and with other technologies to value the opportunity to stay in more regular touch. Like, I think something about the learning I've done from a marketing point of view over the years was I was always caught up with being a bit worried about putting out content and showing up on social and doing stuff from the place that I might be seen as someone pushing my wares or pushing myself in competing in social media space, and I didn't want to. And a lot of my most joyful experience was actually being present, doing more low-key, more nature, more stuff that was further away from the technology, really. And so I had this sense of just being absent a lot of the time on social, and then turning up every now and then and sort of saying, oh, hi. Hi, everybody, I've got a program to sell. So I didn't feel that was a genuine reflection of how things are for me. I have a real sense of intention about staying in touch with people and having a sense of community and friendship and inclusion, and I think integrity too around my use of social media, that it actually supports me. And my son Jet, who's directing behind the camera there, is actually, are you checking in to see, is my double chin?
I want you to raise your voice.
Oh, you want me?
The mic's good, but it's not that good.
Because I'm here seeing him go.
We've got screaming infants in the background.
Yeah, we're at the park. We're at Westerfolds Park.
They're more anxious to take over your spot
in Doncaster.
Than the mic.
Oh, I see. It's a
battle for the audio.
Is it a bit directional though? Does it need to be right in front of
Karen's
face?
No, this pointing. Mic has pretty good,
pick up. She'll pick up.
So
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So is that a continue?
Sure.
Sure.
Just
okay. Sure.
Crack on with it. Sorry, folks. We had a bit of a technical difficulty because Karen can't understand simple signs. So let's keep it rolling, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I do feel a little bit torn now because I've actually wanted to talk to Alistair. Would you be willing to bring the camera this side so I can talk to...
Well, I was thinking...
Would that help?
Okay.
Oh, enjoy that. Are you feeling dizzy?
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So, I've been working firstly on how to articulate what I do. I think I've been working on that for 10 years.
It's a tough thing to do, isn't it?
It's really
tough. Yeah.
So, I think with the growth, thanks, Jet. I think with the growth that's been happening for me personally in the last 12 months, there has been a bit more clarity come, and I don't know if I've shared much about it, but I have been a mentor for a young woman in a program. It's called the Young Entrepreneurs of the North. It's a Morelands Council, Yarra City Council project to help young entrepreneurs flourish, because, well, certainly in alignment with my values, that empowering young people to be able to adapt and to be creative and find solutions for things, and certainly in the work where there's a sense of purpose and social contribution, I'm really keen to empower those young people. And so, yeah, that's something that I've been doing the last 4 months. And we had a graduation dinner recently, and the young woman I was mentoring did wonderfully and ran a pilot for a wellbeing education class, or a class for young people 7 to 12. and she brought them in, and she did play activities based on, you know, building resilience and drawing and talking together and playing in ways that got kids more connected to some wellbeing ideas, and it was really
Very creative.
Yeah, really creative, and felt a wonderful extension of my own sense of contribution to be contributing to her, to have her be empowered to do that with young people. I was really felt really chuffed to do that. So one of the words that's come through that experience has been mentor. And the reason I like mentor is that it's really getting alongside someone's experience.
Yep.
It's not necessarily teacher, which is more downloading someone with all your experience. It's actually they lead the experience and you sit alongside them. And so I think that distinction has become important this year between what I would have called myself as a teacher, maybe of nonviolent communication, or teacher of things. Now I feel more comfortable with mentor. So that's been a growth. I also haven't been leading any group programs or anything of recent
Sort of noticed
months.
that you've gone quiet.
Yeah, I haven't been producing new content. I've had 3 runs of the social or the self-care program that I was sharing for entrepreneurs, and that that was such an incredible personal journey every time. The 5 core needs have really supported me to become a bit wiser about how I'm triggered. So where there's strengths and room for improvement or growth, where those 5 core needs are concerned. So structure is definitely one of my areas of self-management, self-care that I was really I'm more present to now than I was before.
So like the need for structure?
The need for structure,
Okay.
yeah.
To give you a sense of well-being.
Yeah, that there's some weekly habits, monthly habits, fortnightly activities that I'm building into my schedule to support that sense of structure that holds the rest of my week. So my regular shopping, even once a week, my sort of in the work area, having a day that I'm looking at finances and where I'm getting connected with others to talk about finances and my relationship with that, and some of the things that were in the way for me to grow my well-being and have the fuel, the financial resources to actually support that, and to address some of the areas I'd had shame about financial management in the past, and where I was feeling dependent still, and where I was feeling telling myself stories about lack of freedom and choice, and grief about that, and it was interesting. I was sharing with Cherie this morning that I have also come to a new understanding of compassion as and I think it particularly relates to my finances and my physical health, because I'm still working at trying to find ways to look after my physical health a bit better. But I was saying to Cherie that I think my over-compassion was actually a masking, nice person response to what I actually was underneath feeling as well, which was anger and resentment and the feeling, stories of feeling trapped and all sorts of things. So instead of doing the angry, I was doing the, I'm going to be even a greater person, I'm going to be really compassionate. So finding the middle ground and actually getting to a place of, I need to be honest with myself, and bring the compassion to the honesty, but actually it's the honesty piece that's needing more oomph.
First.
Yeah. So looking back over my history and recognising, my desire to teach compassion, to learn compassion, to apply compassion, had there was a wound that wasn't being seen and known by me as a there's some more honesty and directness and courage and truth telling. So that's the other thing I've been doing this year, is actually storytelling, and I've joined a storytelling circle.
Oh, fabulous.
So I've told a couple of really stories that made me feel a bit vulnerable and a bit it's been fascinating. I just told one on Tuesday night, and before I got up I actually was saying, no, I'm not telling a story tonight, I'm not getting up, no. And I hadn't done any preparation. Like the story I'd told before, I'd done all this mapping previous to the night, and I was like, I had my intro, my outro, and how I was going to tell the story. And Tuesday night I'd done no preparation whatsoever, and I was really like...
Okay.
And on the spot, when I got asked for about the fourth time, encouragement, come on, are you going to tell a story? I went, all right, and up I hopped. And it was like, the part of me that had been going, no, 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 was still sitting down. But the story that wanted to be told had me stand up and walked me up.